Ignore Phil making a load of noise over there. I don't remember which way this goes up, but I think it's probably that way, isn't it?
Oh, you're asking me the wrong question. I didn't even see you take it off.
I barely saw myself take it off. I was lying under the car in the dark. This is the rear axle from the Scirocco. It needed welding to the sills, so whilst the axle was off, it just sort of made sense to, you know, take it apart and clean it up, and you know, may as well do the job right. The polybush kits are basically the only bushings we could actually find for this axle, so that's what we've got, and it, you know, it's a little upgrade, I suppose, isn't it? Does it go like that? It can't go like that, can it?
Now, was it strapped on all of it, was it?
No, it hooks over with these little clamps on the middle.
You didn't paint the clamps?
No. Oh no, I think it goes like that.
Why'd you leave that off until you've painted the clamps, you bodgy bugger?
The clamps.
Just gonna grind
the whole in the summer, the whole bottom end's coming off and being done anyway.
Make sure you say that in the video. Just give us a sec.
I can't remember which way up the thing went.
Anyone with a Mark II Scirocco know which way up that goes? Just comment below so we know we put it upside down.
I think it's got to be this way, but I haven't actually got the clamps for the end, the bushings for the end, so I'm only actually clamping it on the middle for now. It's got to be that way, hasn't it?
It looks it, yeah.
Because then that'll clamp like there.
Yeah, that bolts up to the body that way up, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is the way it goes into the body. So that's got to be.
Yeah. So, if anyone's noticed that me and Gaz are both wearing nice shiny hoodies, if Gaz turns around, the new logo for... What's that?
New.
So I can see. So we've got the new logo on the hoodies, and on the back we've got this. So
I've got to put the hood up, otherwise you can't read it.
Yeah.
Does it bolt onto the other end? Like that end?
Turn the wishbone, the anti-roll around, and then put it under.
It's got to bolt.
No. Does it fit
Does it go like that?
Yeah, that's that.
But it didn't clamp on top, did it?
You sure?
Have I got my
You took it off.
Have I got my other bushings upside down? Because it makes sense that they're pointing down.
Yeah, shock goes through. So you got them what you need to turn, don't you?
Yeah, they'll just spin. That makes sense.
I can't believe you putting that on.
It's fine.
Right, hang on. Just let me get the camera on you.
You are holding.
We'll see. I'll hold it now.
Right. Just because Phil thinks I'm being really bodgy by putting rusty clamps back on. Basically, this Scirocco is not being restored right now. This Scirocco is just being MOT, made it MOT ready. Oh, they're tight.
I'm stuck on something. What he's trying to say is, the Scirocco he wants to put on the road and try and use it through the summer. So it'll probably be like next winter that he uses. It does a complete restoration, or maybe midsummer or something. Yeah. But he wants to get a bit of enjoyment out of it while he's finishing the Beetle off. Is basically what.
Yeah. And once the Beetle's done, then this can come back into the workshop and be put off the road.
It's just he wanted to do the axle while it was off because he didn't want it to get even worse.
The polybushings are pretty tight on this.
They usually are. You got the polybush in the right way around because there's a flat groove there, and it looks like it goes the opposite way around. See the flat groove in the bracket there, guys? See your bracket on the rusty bracket there? See it's got a flat groove at the back. You've got a flat groove on the back of here and a curved groove at the front.
It's flat on both front and back.
It's not, I can see it from here.
Oh, no, I don't know what you mean.
Right, that bit there. Oh. Yeah, that way round. There you go.
What's different?
It's got a sharper thing there. See the way that's got like a sharp. It's only very slight. It's hardly noticeable. But it's either that or it's just my eyes that are seeing that.
Maybe it gets rusty, Phil.
Have you greased the bracket?
Oh, it does go. I might need a long bolt to pull it through.
I don't even know if the camera's on the right angle, so you grab all that a sec, I'll get you. What do you mean? Is it a nut and bolt, is it, yeah?
Yeah, it's a nut and bolt. I've got ones for it, but they might need a longer one to pull it down.
Right, so we've rejigged everything because it kept falling over. I'm just going to give Gaz a little hand. I've got a pair of pliers here somewhere. I can pull it in through. These new polybushes are quite tight, which is obviously why they're better, because they stiffen the suspension if it's...
So we've used slightly longer bolts than the ones that came off to make it a bit easier to get on. I don't think we need to trim them down.
Shall we set that one up whilst we're at it?
I don't think we need to trim them down, but we can if we need to. Because polybushes famously squeak like hell. That's probably why they give it with a tube of grease in it.
They say it's for fitting, but I guess it's to stop the squeak.
It's quite a smart little
design.
clamping
So
system.
the clamp is literally hooking over the bar round, and then bolts through it, clamps the rubber right down. Or the polybush in this
Sort of
case.
squashing the bush on this side. I think it might be easier if I tilt it.
There you go. Okay, we're on to number 2.
There's every mechanic has the plumber's tool in the toolbox.
Yeah. I've got a big set of these in my box.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, got 3 different sizes. They're snap on as well. And it's the second one secured in.
That's
Then
in.
you need to work out the distance, whether it's equal.
I still have to source the
Yeah.
bushings for this side because the old ones were.
Slide it up right. I'm dead over the centre of the rod.
Yeah, so my.
Okay, so that's pretty much in place.
But because I've greased the shafts, even once
It'll
it's clamped
pull,
down,
yeah.
I can pull it from side to side a little
So you
bit.
can like wiggle it once it's tight to move it backwards and forwards if you need to.
I can't remember. I should have paid more attention when I took these off. I'm gonna have to try and figure out which way these go based on. Yeah, it can't be that way. Based on the rust patterns on the part. They must have been in that way.
Yeah, they've got to be. It's,
I don't know what the hook's for.
probably something to do with the. Is it shoes? Yeah, probably something to do with shoe kit, Joe, holding the spring in place or something.
Well, that's all on the backing plate, isn't it? The backing plate just off.
You're not putting the backing plate on.
Backing plate's got to go over there first, doesn't it?
See, even mechanics make mistakes.
Yeah, especially when they weren't paying attention to what they were taking off. Right. I don't remember which side went on which.
But your cylinder will be at the top, won't it?
So that's got to be.
Oh no, not necessarily.
Yeah, that's got to be that way. The cylinder was at the top. I remember that much. And then pop the bolts through first. That might make it easier. I really should have cleaned the grease off this before I put my hands on it. Oh, Phil, you're proud of me.
What?
What are you using?
I know you're not using an upper double.
My impact gun's over there.
I know. So yeah, basically the process with Gaz's Mark II Scirocco is all he wants to do is it failed the MOT before I purchased it.
Oh, you didn't actually put it in for the MOT, did he? Just took,
Yeah,
put
it was
in
like
for
a pre-MOT.
pre-check. And he said it's going to fail the MOT, don't bother.
It was going to fail on 2 patches of welding, and you had to take the axle off to do it. So Gaz is going to redo it all again, but he just wanted to get a lick of paint off on it while it was off, so we wire wheeled it, and Gaz has got a new tool for like it's an air chisel with loads of like loose bits on.
Yeah, it's called a rusty scaler. What did you call it?
A jangler.
A jingle jangler.
A jingle jangler, because it makes a load of bloody noise.
It's loud.
So yeah, if you do buy one of them, they are very noisy.
Oh no, Phil.
What? The ratchet just died. Good job. He's coming in tomorrow.
Oh, fixed it.
So I'll take it back tomorrow. Yeah. So that's what we're at.
It's loud.
Yeah, the jingle jangler is very loud. It's behind you there.
Yeah.
So that is it an air chisel?
It's an air chisel and the attachment comes.
It comes with, to be fair, it's very cheap off eBay. Air chisel with all the chisels and the adapter was like 23 quid.
23 quid, yeah.
£23, which was very cheap, I think, for an air chisel.
Yeah.
And it works quite well, to be fair.
Yeah, I did this whole axle with it. We did a few other bits, and you took it to work, didn't you? And did a job in work with it.
Yeah, so it's quite a good little tool, to be fair. It's not really got a brand on it, has it?
No, it's just, I mean it has, but it's one of those sort of
Knockoff ones.
yeah. Everyone uses that type of thing, and they all put their own label on it, sort of deal.
University.
So
we'll
1, 2, 3.
now we've got basically the reason for slow videoing and stuff as well, like the last few months.
We're rubbish.
Yeah, we're not very good at keeping track of videoing. and the camera we were using is my partner's, and we were starting to damage it, so we've invested in a GoPro.
I mean, half the problem is sometimes we just forget to put the camera on.
Yeah, but we're going to get a lot better at that now. We've sort of said to ourselves that we need to start videoing a lot more stuff.
We've recruited Matt and we're going to try to convince him.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, Matt, please be our video man.
So, anyone else watching it, comment, please, Matt, be our video man.
Yeah. We're going to have a lot of comments. We've asked them to comment.
I think that was a bolt that went on there. Yeah, so that goes on there, that goes on there.
You found them now?
Yeah.
So you're going on to the other side?
I'm super organised and I've got a big bucket of...
Yeah, bucket of bolts. Yeah, I'll spin the axle.
We took these bushings off and the old bushings were seized to the bolt and we had to heat them up till they were like glowing cherry red and we melted the bushing off. And then put it in a vise and knock it out of the centre bore. And then we spent ages straightening up those washers thinking we'd have to reuse them and they came with new washers.
Yeah, well, it looks better for having new stuff. It's nice colour purple, that.
It is, I like it.
I think you should...
If I can get the rest of the stuff purple, I will.
If you get all the front bushes in purple and everything, contact Powerflex and just ask them, do you make it? They'll obviously make the front ones if they make the rears.
Yeah, I would think so.
They should do. But, be a nice colour for it. I'm trying to convince Gaz to go, let's back to front, Gaz. Let's back to front.
We obviously can't film and do work at the same time.
It's hard to talk and work when you're not used to it. That's still wrong, Gaz.
Why?
Oh no, that is right, sorry.
See?
Yeah.
It's not just me. It's because it's this way up, that's what's confusing.
Yeah, so we're I'm trying to convince Gaz to go down the road or something like a 2 litre FSI out of a Mark V Golf conversion on the Scirocco. If he doesn't do it on the Scirocco, I'm going to do it on the Mark III. I kind of got a bit disheartened with the Mark III the other day. I was set to scrap it, but I'm too much into it.
Can't scrap it.
No.
It's better to
you know, you've got that stub axle on the inside, on that one.
It's supposed to be on the inside.
Do you want to? Shall we pause and start again?
It's because we're talking.
So, I'm trying to convince Gaz to do a Mark V 2 litre FSI turbo swap on the Mark II Scirocco.
He says he's trying to convince me. I'm all up for it. It's just.
Oh, you are. All right. So we're going to do a 2 litre FSI swap on the Scirocco.
It depends on like availability of the engine and the parts.
Yeah. Well, we're going to need donor car.
Yeah.
Because I made that mistake of trying to buy engines and match everything up. It gets more expensive than investing in a car.
Past experience, we know when you do an engine swap to an engine that's not supposed to be in your car, you need the whole car.
Yeah, and what the best protocol is, what we're probably going to do with it, is just completely gut the Scirocco interior dashboard out the lot, and do the same with the donor car and use the whole wiring loom.
So you take out the clocks, you take out the interior.
We won't be using the clocks because we'll just get the ECU flashed. At least that way you haven't got to worry about putting a modern dashboard into an older car. We'll just tuck all of the wiring behind and convert the switches and stuff. So at least that way you keep it looking original.
I want to go mental with it, but obviously it's availability of a car, and I want to see if we can get like a quattro system. Yeah. I don't know if it's possible in the Scirocco because there might be a lot of bodywork cuts and stuff.
Be a lot of body cuts, and then it's making it legal because you want to still use it on the road, don't you?
Yeah, you can only modify a car to a certain point before it becomes illegal to use on the road in the UK. You'd have to get an IVA.
You can do like Mark V Golfs. There is a Mark V Golf that's full motion, so you can actually do like a Mark V full motion conversion because all the mounting points are still there. It's when you're trying to do something old and you have to cut the channel out. I mean, you could still get it past, I suppose. That's where you're going to get expensive and into detailed inspections and stuff, aren't you? So,
yeah, I mean, an IVA is not expensive. An IVA is like 97 quid or something like that. But when they test it to the today's standard.
Yeah.
So anything that
don't think that car would match up to today's standard.
Anything that wasn't compliant with today in 1990, with 1991 or 1990.
Yeah.
Anything that wasn't compliant then by today's standard will fail the IVA.
So it's a case of we can register an engine swap pretty simply without doing too much, but we don't want to go down the road of...
Because they only care about like capacity, don't they, with the engine swap.
And it's your emissions, you got to make sure you put the cat on and all that sort of stuff so that it still meets the... Because when you do an engine swap, you're not meeting the old emissions of the old, you're not matching the body, you're matching the engine that's in it. So if you put a Mark V 2009 or 2006 or something, you've got to match up to the spec for that
So
It'll go like red recording symbol at the top and counting.
we're recording.
So you're going to tell them what to do?
We're lying on the floor. Oh, the axle. Sorry. Yeah, I told you we're rubbish at this. The axle's going back on the Scirocco.
That's a great introduction. That not this episode or even that.
I did say we're rubbish.
Or
This isn't episodes anyway. This one's just
instalments.
This is just getting it back on the road. There's no. Oh, I think it has to go up all the way, doesn't it?
Eh?
I think it has to go up all the way, doesn't it?
What do you mean? Put the back on first?
The back has to go up, otherwise it doesn't fit in the shock tower. Have you got 2 bolts there?
I've got 2 nuts.
2 nuts, sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry.
I put this nice with a light open.
Oh, yeah. So much easier when you got someone else to help you.
I've lost the. Oh, no. Well, which ones did you give me? Which ones did you give me? They got like built-in washers.
No.
I've got the wrong one in the end. That's why it's not screwing on very well.
Ooh, mine's not screwing on very well, to be fair, either.
This one is now. That bolt I've just found. There's the fucking stud for that one. The shit's going on.
We should use the jack.
No, it's not the weight. It's the problem. Yes. There we go. So,
I'll let you get yours on first, because every time you move it, I get knocked off.
It's nearly on. Just trying to screw the last little bit. Right, I got mine both started.
Got one started. I've got 2 started.
Me too. There's my bolt there.
I'm not sure whether they're supposed to go in from the front or go down a bit. I'm not sure if this is supposed to go in from the front or the back, because when I got to it, I had one each way.
So this bolt's not long enough, so you just give a...
It's not.
No, it doesn't go through enough. It's through, but you can't get a nut on it.
It's the same length. It's the same length as that one, isn't it?
It'd be better if that was a captive nut on that, because I don't see that there's a lot of space to put the nut on.
I'm quite tight getting in there on this side.
Torch.
I've just charged my new one.
I got mine as well. I'll give you your one. Well,
It's the mini sun.
Mini sun.
Ow! Thanks.
That's the way it's staying in the video, that.
What, you assaulting me with a torch?
I've got 2 bolts the same here, guys. Just see if that's long enough to go right through yours. Friggin' hell, you're shining at me eye.
Oh. No, I think that's about the same length as the one you've got.
That's about it. Let's see if I've got any longer than
Have a little hammer as well.
hammer.
Yeah, just need to tap this bolt in.
Excuse you. You want a nylon one?
No, I want a big lump hammer.
So you look professional. Gaz isn't
No,
professional.
what is that, Phil?
Work, did it not?
Oh, you got loads on that, Phil.
Is that longer?
Is
that longer?
That's what was on it, but it's the threaded one all the way through.
Yeah, it's funny. Will you fucking turn that off?
Yeah, I think that's what's on it. I took it off because it's threaded all the way through. It's got a collared shaft that fits in the bushing. That'll be knocking its head off if that's on.
Yeah, that's not plenty though.
Well, once you tighten it down, it clamps in. It will be. It only has to catch all the threads.
Yeah, it's gonna hit the bolts that you've had must have had smaller. The original ones. See the way they're close to the thing now.
The one that's on that side is the original one.
Yeah, because these have got built-in washers, haven't they?
Oh,
Well,
that's
I'd probably
hitting the
make that
bevel,
work
isn't it?
if you put that on the grinding wheel.
That's hitting the bevel, was it?
Let's see, we'll take the washer off one pledge. Oh, I'll get the grinder out when it